That was more like a.
Then you have to reshare it again.
Yeah, except for the fact that if anybody was there,
I don't think we had any.
we had two.
Oh, well, probably us.
Now we have one. Okay, yeah, I guess that would be one, two. It is what it is. They'll come back. Anyways, we are live again. So, the Maillard reaction, or Maillard, Maillard. Wow. Maillard, the Maillard reaction is French, so there you go. It's a chemical reaction between amino acids and reducing sugars to create melanoidins, the compounds which give brown food its distinct flavor. Seared steaks, fried dumplings, cookies, and other kinds of biscuits, breads, toasted marshmallows, and many other foods undergo this reaction. Named after the French chemist Louis Camille Maillard, who first described in 1912 while attempting to reproduce biological protein synthesis. Reaction is a form of non-enzymatic browning which typically proceeds rapidly from around 140 to 165 degrees Celsius, which would be 280 to 330 degrees Fahrenheit. Many recipes call for an oven temperature high enough to ensure that a Maillard reaction occurs. At higher temperatures, caramelization, browning of the sugars, a distinct process, and subsequently pyrolysis, final breakdown leading to the burning and development of acrid flavors, become more pronounced. So that, hello Jade, it's good to see you. Is just talking about the Maillard reaction. So that's the thing. You gotta hit boiling because you gotta be above 220 Fahrenheit. Which is why you couldn't cook brownies at like say 230.
Okay.
You know, I mean you could eventually, but it
Right,
would take
right.
forever. That's why all those recipes, you know, almost every baking recipe says 350. Some say 325. But that's the thing. So
I'm just start my timer.
Yep, I got you. So the Maillard reaction.
All right, about 50 degrees, so it's good. My Maillard reaction.
No, not Maillard. That's what they make the balloons out of.
Maillard? Yeah. Right, the big, like sparkly, shiny
The
ones.
shiny ones that don't lose their helium as fast as the regular ones.
Right.
Yeah. So anyhow, the point of the 90-minute boil is that Maillard reaction
You need more time for your.
treats going, and it releases those melanoidins, and that increases the biscuity or kind of bready flavor.
Right. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
By the way, when I designed this recipe and decided on a 90-minute boil, I only kind of half knew.
All right.
I knew some of it. Hi guys. It sounds pretty interesting. I think it's interesting. I think it's fascinating. But I actually just like
Like the beer. So this batch, this IPA is going to be lighter than the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I used Caramunic 60.
Okay.
Darker. I used Caramunic 20 this time.
Ooh.
Along with regular brain fart. Back in my notes. Along with regular Crystal. Crystal 20.
Okay.
So I think it'll be kind of a light golden color. It won't be like a Coors golden, but it'll be, you know, probably a little bit darker than that, you know.
So maybe like about the color of the All Days?
Possibly. Oh, they're a little bit light actually. I think it'd be darker than that.
Okay.
So.
You tell Jade.
Hey, they're going to be darker than all the IPAs, which we'll have one of those later. If you're still hanging out with us, you can see how light it is in the glass. It's an IPA, but it's very, very light. Light in alcohol, which is fine, and light in color and mouthfeel. So. The IPA I am making. Well, talking is hard. Is one I've done a couple times. Maybe this is the third time or the fourth time. I can't remember. I've made some changes yet again to try to dial this in. So we'll see where it's at. We're gonna officially gonna name it Elusive IPA because Jamey called it the Elusive IPA, and I'm like, you know, there it is. It's gonna stick right there.
Because you keep chasing it, man. It's like, you know, with Resurrection Ale, you didn't have to chase it. in my mind, you nailed it the very first time, and then you kind of walked away and tried to perfect it, and then you came back and perfected. Don't tell me that you actually landed on the second or third iteration. I don't want to know. I just want to pretend it's the first. Don't. I hear you wanting to tell me that it was actually the third.
No, what I was going to say is I'm going to make it again.
Yes.
You know, maybe after this batch I'll do another res ale, because res ale, sure, it's a little heavier, but you can drink it all year round. It doesn't have to match the season, you know.
Yeah, it's not horribly heavy. It's not like.
I'm gonna bring up the recipe for it. In fact, take a look at the recipe.
Like the peanut butter stout.
Mm-hmm.
That's a heavy beer.
Yeah.
That is like
Winter
a
beer.
dessert beer.
Dessert beer, yeah. The recipe. Oh, there you are.
Things I'm trying to do today: stay on target, get everything rolling fast. Especially since I have a 90-minute boil. Usually, when I have a 90-minute boil, that means Steve goes first because we only have one work chiller and the whole timing. But today we're just gonna freak out. Like is that a Rick James song?
Freak out? No,
Yeah.
I think it's like Cool in the Gang or something. I don't know. It's old school.
Freak out!
Yeah, it's like old school, like Cool in the Gang or something, man. I don't remember. Maybe it was Lips Incorporated. I don't know. I know it's 80s stuff, man.
The sun bothering you yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, we'll wait on that bit.
Yeah, even sitting back is fine.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good so far. Got something to show y'all.
No, it'll be even better if Bill's with us, but
Yeah, it would be good if Bill. He watches the replays.
oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah. You know, like he asked last time, hey, where's the curtains? So about that.
Forgot him.
I forgot them in my house. It wasn't really my fault. They were safely in my Suburban, and I was going to bring them over. And then my kids cleaned my Suburban.
Oh.
I said, take this and that out, and they took everything out. Like sometimes I have to go find my registration and insurance paperwork. It's like, oh, guys.
Not that.
Emma, what are you doing with that wrench? I'm taking the seats out. No! Don't go overboard, man.
Taking out your steering wheel, your seats, everything in the glove compartment.
What happened? Well, my kid disassembled my car.
Oh, I'm late.
So I stole his bike. So we watched, well, Steve and I, Steve watched the whole thing. I'm impressed. We watched an episode by Jimmy Carr, called Natural Born Killer. It was a little over the top.
Yeah, like he definitely was like pushing the envelope on what a comedian should joke about, kind of thing. And that was, I think, the whole premise of the show was like, I don't care, I'm gonna joke about it anyway, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna push how far can a comedian go? What can comedians talk about?
And so some of his stuff was funny. I mean, granted, but some of it was just like, my wife and I did not laugh. We were just like, ooh, that was a little too much, man.
My wife stopped laughing. Probably, you know, at one point in the show, he said he did the testing part. He's like, all right, now we're gonna get into the edgy stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, once he did some of those
were just, it was just like, come on, man, I get what you're doing, but
it's like, yeah,
that's even a little too much, you know.
You've gone over the edge, my
But like, I'm not about to cancel him or and like that. But it was just like, in fact, he kind of joked about that too, about being canceled. But anyway, I just like, whoa, that one, yeah, man.
You know, a big part of it, a lot of comedians, especially your comedians that are, you know, they have opinions and they're being funny with them. Like Dave Chappelle is one of these, you know. His comedy is not just to make you laugh. It's not just stupid comedy.
No, I think he's trying to make a statement.
Yeah, you know, I think, and there are many comedians.
Trying to show.
It's more, it's an art form for them. It really is an art form. So in any case, there's quite a few comedians who feel like that they've really been. It's like you can't make a joke about that. It's like nothing is funny. It's like, you've offended me. It's like, come on. It's like, how would these people who are screaming this stuff, how would they have reacted when Andrew Dice Clay was on this?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, their heads would have literally exploded. That dude took, I mean, relative to the time, obviously Andrew Dice Clay now, we'd just be like, eh.
Yeah, because he was just like super sexist.
Yeah,
super chauvinist.
Super crude.
Super crude chauvinist, you know.
And all that. And yeah, I mean, but still, he was offensive for his time, right?
Right.
Typical in the PMRC, or was it PMRC?
PMRC. They attack music mostly, but
Yeah, but
they might
I'm
have
sure
attacked
they loved
comedians
him.
too. Yeah, probably.
You know. So anyhow, it's like, but they're just like, you can't make a joke about anything because it's offensive.
I gotta
It's
turn
like,
my volume down. I keep getting text messages.
yeah, I hear that.
Jeez.
Ding, ding.
Sorry.
So anyhow, it's like, yeah, it's like you can't make a joke about anything, you know. And I'm like with that guy. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna cancel him. I'm not gonna send him. I mean, obviously on my show with one loyal listener. Although we have 3 viewers, so there's somebody else out there. It's probably my wife who still hasn't figured out how to send messages in the chat.
Oh.
Telling you, get to Mateo. He will figure it out. Get the kids. They can do it. So anyhow, but it's like, I'm not going to cancel him, like you said. It's not like I'm going to go scream. It's like, this guy's the most unfunny guy ever. It's like, eh.
No, so it was really funny, but it was just like, whoa, you really went too far, man.
It's like, you kind of,
It's like, oh.
you know who wasn't funny at the end, not at the beginning, and George Carlin. At the end, not funny.
No, he was just angry.
He was just very
But
angry
you know what?
and bitter. At
This
the beginning,
guy, Jimmy Carr, was not the first comedian to make jokes about, I'm going to push. George Carlin actually did that back in the 80s.
I know. That's
He's
why
like,
I
I'm
bring
going
up
to
George Carlin.
joke about this stuff that I'm not supposed to joke about.
Yes, the words you can't say on TV. Which, by the way, if you listen closely, one of Jimmy Carr's jokes was that bit. He used different words.
Okay.
But I listened to that and I was just instantly, I was like, that's George Carlin's the 10 words you can't say on TV.
Yeah.
I forget what the words were, and we don't want to say them on this program.
No, we're not gonna. I know all the word. I know the word because I know the joke, but I think it's 7 actually, not 10. But
I thought it was 10. See.
But anyway, I'm not
George
gonna
Carlin
repeat
fan.
them here.
Nathan, I'm offended that you are not offended. And Daniel, hello. Okay, thank you. Hello, America. Do you want Brazil or England, Dan? How do you identify?
Hi, Daniel.
How do you identify? Tell us your national pronouns. Anyways, we did, you know, in the previous broadcast that died for no good reason whatsoever. Another Daniel Roberts moment.
Yeah, we talked about it last time. How
Yeah.
he would just have the worst luck with technology.
Oh yeah.
sometimes.
Well, now we're having it. I mean, that just died. There was no reason. It just went click. You're done. It's like, why? Why are we done? You know, you're not offended. You know, go ahead, be offended. He's non-national. Welcome, world traveler.
World traveler.
Anyways, we're talking about Jimmy Carr, and more importantly about comedians pushing the envelope as to what is funny, what you can make jokes about, what you can be irreverent about. You know, I'm irreverent about a lot of things. And it's not because I necessarily want to offend people. It's just like, sometimes you gotta take a breath, dude. Like, you can get wound up around the axle about so many things. Like, relax. It is just, for example, it's just beer. It's just freaking beer, you know? I trip and dump this, well, okay. We might go straight to R.
There would be a lot of colorful metaphors after that.
You would see our sailor roots coming out.
But you're right. In the end, yes, it's just beer.
Clean this up.
It was a 60
clean that
or
up.
70 some odd dollar kit, but still
all over the floor.
All over the
5
floor.
gallons is a lot. Fortunately, this is only 3, so.
I'd be like, I'll get mop.
I might not even swear. I might just.
Alright.
It's just like there's nothing to do.
You just might as well you can't do it. There's no point in getting mad. You're just like, well, we're moving on.
I'm non-national fluid. In other words, British. Not English? You're British. He's British, not English. You know, I'm always confused. Like, you're a Brit, right? No, I'm English. Oh, you're English? No, I'm British. I think you're messing with me.
Right, it's like you're yanking my chain on this one.
Better, margarine.
By the way, I have about 18 minutes left on my speed, so.
I have 1 minute and 58 seconds.
Right.
Oh,
we need the catch.
I do need the catch. Need the flame. So we're talking about irreverence. And the thing is, I am even irreverent about things within my own religion. You know, not, I think I stopped before blasphemy. But still, so in the Orthodox and the Catholic religion, they have this thing called catechumens and catechism, which is like learning about the history of your branch of Christianity, etc., etc. And I like to say, people say, "Oh, I'm going through catechism," and I like to say, "Ah, you're getting cauterized," and I think that's funny. Most other people think it's funny too. I'm sure there's someone out there who's like, "Deep breath, deep breath. It's okay."
They make that face like we made during the natural light.
Yes, it's just. It's funny, Linda. It's funny. English, yes. We know. We're cultured. We've been 100 yards into several countries.
That's what I said.
From the
I've been to England.
I actually was in England. England is great.
Yeah, you were there long. I was only there for 4 days.
You need to go back.
Yes, I need to go back as a civilian, not as a member of the armed forces, where I have Cinderella restrictions and.
You know what's amusing, of course, is that we were civilians, and when we were in the Navy, it's like, oh, we gotta be back so early, yada yada yada. Right. Yeah, when we went as civilians, we were in
9
bed
o'clock.
by 9:30. It's like, oh,
but you know what the difference is? You didn't have to though.
Yeah,
it was
and
your
if
choice,
you were late, you didn't get yelled at.
You didn't yelled at or put on restrictions.
Walked up to the bed and breakfast, and they're like, "I'm sorry, you can't come in."
Yeah. Brows closed.
Brows closed. It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to go back to some of the countries I got to visit. Go back and visit them as a civilian with no restrictions.
The reason I say that England is a good one is because of the language similarity.
Yeah.
I'm really glad we did it.
It's a lot easier to communicate. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then you should go back to Japan. I mean, you would do great in Japan.
I lived there for 4 years.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I would love to go see Japan again. It would be great.
Next time I'm going to try and get away from some of the urban centers.
Right, yeah. I kind of see some of the more rural stuff. It's pretty up in the rural areas.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were down in Iwakuni when I was there.
If it's possible, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'm being silly, but
okay.
Rural for Japan, the buildings are just a little bit smaller. That's all, you know. Now there are some very nice areas. Like some of the Nara has a really cool kind of rural type area. Kamakura is another one. But there's huge Buddha statues, huge. They're fun to visit. You can go take a tour of the temples, and you have to take off your shoes when you go down inside there. It's quite fun to experience some of the culture, you know. It's a little touristy, but it's also there's a lot of Japanese people visiting these shrines and temples as well. It's not just for gaijin, you know. So they are kind of capitalizing on the tourism part, but it's also a working temple. Like people go there to pray and worship, you know, whatever they do. But just to see these statues, they were built like in 1500s, you know, feudal Japan era, and this huge Buddhas, man. You could go inside them and shit.
Oh, they're hollow Buddhas.
PG. Yeah, they're hollow.
You're cultured if you've been to Bristol. Apparently, I'm not cultured.
Can't say that. I guess I'm uncultured because I've not been to Bristol. I've only been to Portsmouth. That was it for me. Spent about 4 days there in 1996. Pulled in with I was in the Navy. I pulled in with a U.S. Navy ship, so was he. We didn't know each other back then.
I actually didn't go to England with the Navy though. I flew through Cork.
Right. No, I know you went on vacation with your family. Yeah. So I was just saying we were both in the Navy.
Yes.
Part of my tour took me to England that one time.
Yeah, I never got a hunt. I went to all the hot, unpleasant places.
Oh, I did those too. Where you get off the ship, you're just like, let's go find somewhere to get inside quick.
Yeah, it's like that's the only thing you want to do is get inside.
Yeah,
so hot.
Some of them are so hot and muggy. I went to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Hot and muggy, man.
Yeah, I was there. I did that one too. And yeah, that's exactly it. It's like, just dying here. Of course, you gotta dress appropriately. You're representing the Navy. We need you to blend. You gotta pick one.
Right.
I can dress like you want me to dress with the polo shirt, collar, buttons, slacks, belt, nice shoes. Or I can blend. One of the two. Look at the people out there. I see blue jeans, flip-flops, shredded shirts, marijuana leaves. Can I wear one of those? No. Okay. All right. No marijuana leaves. Gotcha. That guy has 7 earrings. How about it, Skip? No. Okay. No. Look, those 3 dudes have long, ratty hair. Not gonna fly either. Alright, so we're just gonna pretend you didn't even say blend. Because you really obviously didn't mean it.
We're not gonna blend, we're gonna stand out.
Yes, you're gonna step 2 feet into that city and they're gonna be like, look, there's an American military person. Bam, just like that. Alright, so I'm going for boil now.
Mm-hmm. I have 12 minutes. I might get steep.
You got the lid to your pot?
I do. Okay.
Put it on here, make it will fit. Even if it doesn't have to fit perfectly.
Kind of dusty, I'll rinse it off.
Okay. Time for Jamey alone. Part of the show where Jamey is alone. Yeah, so Ricky Gervais, you know, he's kind of part of that edgy crowd. You know, there's a lot of people. Short guy, Brian, what's his name? He's a midget, and he uses the word midget. Midget, dwarf, little person, I don't care what you want to say. But he's, you know, short. You know, he has a whole sketch, and it's kind of edgy. And obviously he makes, you know, being a dwarf, he makes dwarf jokes. He makes a lot of them, and they're hilarious. Of course, they're hilarious. It wouldn't be as funny as if I made those jokes, because then I'd be punching down or whatever. But it's funny when he makes those jokes. You know, and he's got a thick skin. I mean, there's a whole group of comedians who are making fun of things that are difficult to deal with, you know? Oh, look at that. That will actually increase or decrease the time it takes to boil.
We kind of want yours to take its time to boil?
No, we want to get to the boil fast and then boil for 90 minutes. I'm trying to...
Right, but if you increase it, it's going to narrow our window of time. You don't want to boil too quick, so that gives me my time to get mine done.
Oh, you're going to try and pass me? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've only got an hour boil.
Right.
So, and my steep's already done, so I need to be done with my, it's almost done. I need to be done with my boil before you get done with your boil.
Oh, okay, alright. So,
let's say I should have started first on this one.
We will turn that down and just slowly approach boil.
Well, it'll be fine because you have to go an hour and a half.
Right, I know.
I'm only going an hour, so.
I gotcha. But yeah, Ricky Gervais, he's one, you know, I don't care. And, you know, he says things that are mildly offensive if you're into being offended type deal. But he, you know, he's got that edge to him. It's just, we're watching Jimmy Carr, Natural Born Killer. If you're into that stuff, you should probably watch it because it was funny to an extent. But then he just went over the edge. Does your mic mute when there's no talking? Something's happening. No, you should not mute when there's no talking. That is not good.
Okay.
I don't know why that would happen. Dan just asked if our mic mutes when no one's talking, but no. Because he's getting a weird... Can you describe it a little better as to what's happening?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it mutes. Unless you have some kind of noise cancellation thing on your mic and then didn't realize it was on.
Nope, not that mic. That mic is old, man. That's like 2000.
Is it going through that mic?
Yeah, that's the mic we use.
Okay. I thought you were using the computer mic.
No, but you know what? OBS and YouTube, maybe it's picking up different sounds and switching. Possible, because Steve's walking in and out and doing things, so. One day we're going to get those fancy little lapel mics. Of course, then we're going to drink our beer with our pinkies in the air. Because we'll be posh. You laughed at that. That was a good...
15 12-ounce beers to get through as well.
I can hear you talk fine. It's just going quiet between your talking. That's odd, and that is not something I like.
And I didn't forget about the lid. I just handful.
You don't have any hands, Mike. I got it. Only you had been born an octopus.
Right? Or if humans had 3 arms, you know?
As long as we all had 3 arms, because then it would be acceptable.
Right. Alright. I got our malts in warm water as well to help soften them.
Oh, good. That's a good thing.
That'll help us out as well. I have about 6.5 minutes left on my steep.
Okay.
So yeah, I need to get my boil done before you're done. That's why I was like, don't escalate your boil, you know. Let it take its time.
I was gonna try and get to boil and get done, but you're right.
But there was no way. There was no way because mine is only an hour, and I have about, like I said, at this point, it's about 6 minutes left.
Right, and the other option was to wait until, and then I'd be here till 12 o'clock tonight brewing beer. Which, mind you, I like hanging out with you.
Right.
But I work tomorrow.
Oh, I know. No,
in the morning.
We need to be done at a reasonable hour, you know.
Yeah, and there's new critical drinker things.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Interesting thing I was watching. I was watching Nick Freitas the other day.
You know what? I'll do the doing tomorrow. I don't have to do the doing.
Well, you can do the doing tonight. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's just mindless entertainment. I think the doing is more productive than the entertainment.
Well, the keg is ready. I just need to transfer the beer.
That's all. Speaking of productive, I have more to say on that. Anyways, Nick Freitas, and he was talking about movies, right? And apparently he had Nerdrotic on, or he was on Nerdrotic shows. Nerdrotic's name is Dave. Dave? I don't remember. Anyways,
I just know he's a critic as well.
Yeah, he's a critic. He's and apparently he's. I don't know if they're friends, but he has a good relationship with Critical Drinker, who's our favorite. I'm not a big Nerdrotic guy. He's not my show. I like the Critical Drinker. Oh, what's that? There's a warning up there.
Oh, it's probably almost there's a problem with the internet.
Yes, and everything's gonna crash. Anyhow, he was saying an interesting thing about movies, and of course, they're all complaining about how there's a lot of preaching and the message, this whole preaching of things and all that, and how movie stories, it's like the stories have fallen off the wayside to all these various things that they want to advocate for, right? And that's like a recurring theme with all of these YouTube critics. But the interesting thing that he pointed out is like reaching a point where people don't bother watching the movies. What they watch are the critics reviewing the movies. And they are just as entertained by that as they are by the movies. In fact, they have no reason. For example, Rebel Moon, Part 2, The Scar Giver. Not going to watch it. It's on Netflix. I watched Part 1. No, it's a Zack Snyder.
Oh, I think I've heard about it.
Yeah, don't watch it. Don't watch it.
I'm not going to watch
You
it.
you will regret it. You will like, that is 2 hours and some odd minutes of my life I will never get back. Would have been more productive scrubbing your belly button with a Q-tip.
Wow.
Your belly button doesn't get dirty. Well, okay, let's pretend it did. Point being, that's a ridiculous thing, right? More productive than watching this movie. The story was bad. It was just, the acting was like flat. Everybody was like, ugh. That was the facial expression. Yeah. What a life lesson. But belly button lint washing? Anyhow, so it is a really bad movie. So Rebel Moon Part 2 comes out. I don't even need the Critical Drinker to slam on it before I'm like, nope, I watched Part 1, no. There's no way.
You're not even going to watch Part 2. Yeah, I don't need to be influenced by a movie critic on this one.
Nope. I watched the first one, and if it is anything like the second one, no. Which, there's a lot of people who said the Snyder cut of the Justice League was, that was the one. It was so much better. It's like, I don't know. It was like 4 hours long.
I don't think I've seen the
4 hours of Zack Snyder? No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that. I don't care enough about the franchise to even want to watch it. I think the superhero movie thing is tired, man. It's done. No offense to anybody who's into that stuff, but it's just done, man. They've been doing it for since the 90s, man, doing superhero movies. Yeah, even before that, like, you go back to the 80s and with Superman, like the Christopher Reeve Superman. Yep. But back then it was a kind of a different thing. It wasn't like this huge multiverse thing like it is now, with a bit of the Marvel stuff. But like, I'm talking like whenever was a kind of mid-late 90s X-Men came out, that kind of kicked off the modern version of all these these superhero movies, and it just So many have been made. You know, all the Captain America stuff, all the not Justice League, but the other stuff that was made.
Well, yeah, it's superhero fatigue. There's
Yeah.
a term for it.
It's got,
fatigue.
To me, it got tiresome. It was like, oh yeah, another superhero movie. You know, it's like I got to the point where I just didn't care anymore. When it was earlier, I was into it. You know, I was like, oh cool, yeah. You know, the Spider-Man movies were coming out with what's his name, Tobey Maguire. You know, those that era. That was kind of the kickoff of the new superhero worlds. You know.
And there was the Andrew Garfield, which I never saw any of those. I think because I tuned out. I think that was my thing.
All right, you're going solo again for a second. Sorry, I need my malts.
All right.
Probably need yours too.
Well, you need to get to a boil.
Not for malts. Malts going after the steep.
I need my malts. That'll slow me down. You liked the Batman films. You liked them until George Clooney. See, that was the thing, is I tuned out. I was like, and you liked the last trilogy. Okay, so the Christian Bale, the Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah, that was my thing. I tuned out of I tuned out of the superhero things. I think I watched the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, and I watched some of the various Marvel stuff. I got Munich and then 2 Golden Mules.
Minor.
Thank you. I would have gotten all the way to my boil. And never...
I was kind of wondering, like, you should probably put your malts in, man.
Well, you know, it's your job to make sure that we do a good job.
Alright, whoop. I just put the repeat on. Alright, I need to take care of my stuff here.
I'm gonna have a hard time talking and peeling these at the same time.
We're gonna be working for a moment, so
do my best. I will be able to complain about this stupid silver thing with no tab to pull it off. Come on, breathe. It literally costs 1/10 of a penny. I will pay a whole penny more per bucket for that tab.
Right. Any comments? I got hard to look at the comments.
Dan's, so Dan is a little more forgiving. You really are, Dan. You're more forgiving than we are. And he was mentioning that he likes the Batmans up until the George Clooney Batman.
Oh yeah. You know, I forgot about the Batmans. Yeah, with the Michael Keaton and all that.
Oh yeah. Who is their Batman?
I did like
Michael Keaton's their Batman.
Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney. Kid from latest one's the kid from the vampire, sparkly vampire series.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I can't remember his name though. He's been Batman. I'm not sure who else, honestly. It was kind of like the Marvel thing. The Batman movies kind of got out of hand as well.
They did. They just, and that was my thing with Spider-Man. Is it was just like, I'm sorry, I'm not sorry at all, but it's just like you've gone too far. It's like, and the thing was, it's not like they remade Ben-Hur, right? A movie that was made, how long ago was that?
The 60s?
Yeah, that was like 80 years ago? No, not quite 80. 60 years ago?
Right.
You know, if they remade Ben-Hur now, I mean, you'd probably get people arrested because you're not allowed to kill people on set for the purpose of notoriety.
What?
That was one of the big things about Ben-Hur, was it during the chariot scenes.
Someone actually died?
Yeah, a couple of people. Not just one or two. Like, a couple people died. That deal. And what was notable is that they kept the footage and kept it in the movie. Wow.
That was hot.
That is interesting. Because, you know, generally, if someone got hurt, that footage usually get cut.
You get cut, yeah.
I don't know, but they kept it. I don't know why they kept it. That was a different Hollywood back then, though. Ladle?
We're going to be swapping stuff here. Your beer and a little bit of my beer.
not think that much is going to change the flavor.
No, probably not.
If it does, we'll have to revisit that whole discussion on, will that 0.5 ounces really change the flavor? Yes, it will. I know, because I somehow turned Steve's IPA into a Scotch Ale IPA.
Scotch IPA.
Scotch IPA. Ooh. I don't know how you can do that. Make it
Follow the
Scotch.
same directions, but just make it really hoppy.
I don't know if that tastes good.
Probably not.
Yeah,
It might clash with the other flavors you're trying to achieve, you know?
kind of like combining Mexican food and Mediterranean food. Those spices don't play well together. I know, I've done it. It was horrible. When my kid made me eat a whole bowl of it, like, Chime, we do not need to eat this soup. It is gross. And he just kept eating, and I felt guilty. And so I ate it along with him. Those horrible, awful soup. Take a glance at what Nathan just said. Well, we'll be there. We'll see you, Nathan. That's good. I really do not think that amount of contamination is going to change.
Right.
Plus, we're still going for boil, so.
Yeah. Really fine.
Nathan, what the heck is a Ben-Hur? What? Are you serious? I don't even watch movies and I know what Ben-Hur is.
You might be messing with you.
It's like the female version of a Ben-Him.
What the? Alright, I'm gonna get some flame going again. Maybe. There you go. I'm gonna mix in my. I need to get the boil quick.
Yes.
Ish.
You can't be serious.
Right. Now I'm going to.
You have to know what Ben-Hur was.
Do you have kniff? Bring kniff.
Always bring a kniff.
And I'm sticky.
Sticky too.
Wait for Nathan to run with that one.
Always good for the off-color joke. It was a family show, and then Nathan showed up. Oh, you're gonna have foam city, aren't you?
For the most part. But it's only 1 pound, so.
That won't be too bad.
If I was doing like a full, 3 pounder or something, woo, yeah. It'd be all about the foam. So you got some dissolved.
Never seen it. What is a Star War? Never seen the movie. That's where Star fight each other deathmatch style. Celebrity deathmatch: The Sun versus Alpha Centauri.
Welcome to
Please,
Star Wars.
please let the Sun win. Please, please don't lose. Well, honey, we're just gonna have to move to Alpha Centauri now.
Yeah.
The Sun lost. It's kind of cold. All right, so if you're serious, to be honest, I've never seen Ben-Hur either. It's an old movie.
Charlton Heston movie.
Charlton Heston, so like really 1960s, maybe even early 60s. I'll look it up on my phone.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go
but
unstickify.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait,
It's a very famous movie, and one of the reasons it's famous is more infamous than famous, in that they had some really heavy-duty chariot scenes, and a couple of the stuntmen died in the chariot scenes. They like had chariot crashes, and they died. And usually, you don't use that stuff. You don't use that footage in your film out of respect for the dead people. But for whatever reason, and maybe it was out of respect for the dead stuntmen, it's like they would want their footage to be in the movie. Perhaps that's it. I don't know. But what I know is they used the footage in the movie, and that was a really big deal. And it's Charlton Heston, in his day, he was considered one of the great actors out there. Huge gun nut. Google Charlton Heston's guns and look at the pictures. It's amazing. Some of the firearms that guy has, just crazy.
You still out there?
Okay. Down one.
What's a Star War?
Our viewers got jokes today, Steve.
It's good. It's good. I like our viewer interaction.
Yeah, they better entertain themselves, because heck knows, Lord knows they're not gonna get it from us. All right. I need the flame thingy now.
Flame thingy.
Flame thingy.
Charred, but I have a fire to.
What's that?
I said my pot is gonna be quite charred, but I have the flame up higher to try to act as a catalyst here to get this oil on there.
Well, I'll keep mine under control so it doesn't go too fast.
Okay.
I think it's time for Pot Cam. We grew up in the color MTV age. Don't do that black and white grayscale BS. Thank you, Dan. Ben-Hur is a color film. However, it is indeed. It's before me. Uh-oh. Is it possible that I forgot to plug in PotCam? Do that now? Well, the mic's working. Okay, so we're not doing PotCam today. And that means we are running off of the laptop mic, which is why we're getting the weird things. So, I'm just going to sit here and wait for Steve to get back. Bloody brilliant.
Okay.
Nathan says, I grew up in the color MTV age. I don't do that black and white grayscale BS. Daniel says, Ben-Hur is a color film.
He is correct.
All right, it's probably back. So we are running off. We're running 100% off the laptop camera. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, okay. So it probably has noise cancellation.
Yeah, whatever. Mac, Apple. I realize you don't listen to your customers anymore and really don't give two rips about them. But just on the wild case that maybe you do, undo all the stuff that you think is cool. It's not. Just turn the microphone on. I'll take care of the compression, the reverb, all of that stuff. Stop it. You suck. Okay. And this has been ranting
they're in a lawsuit.
Hope they lose. Actually, I don't know. I should probably find out what the lawsuit's about.
Antitrust type stuff.
No.
The government suing them.
Yeah.
Further, somehow they seem that there's a perceived monopoly on like mobile phones. I'm like.
It's their App Store stuff.
Yeah, it's like
I did hear about that.
I don't quite know all the gory details, but I know it has to do with that stuff,
I gotta admit, I'm kind of on the fence when it comes to. I need to switch this here.
Well, I think the government doesn't really have a dog in this fight, based off some of the podcasts I've been listening to that were
Right.
talking about it.
And so that's going to be tough because the government has to establish standards.
Well, it's not that the government can't establish standards, it's the language they're using right now. And I don't want to try to get on the details about it, but they're just using the wrong language and to try to prosecute Apple.
Persecute.
They're going to persecute, trying to prosecute Apple, you know. They're using the wrong language, and the Apple lawyers are going to be like, okay. And they're going to be able to show, contrary to what the government's trying to sue them for, you know, based off the language they're using.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's just, the whole trust thing is an interesting thing.
Microsoft's sitting back going, your turn.
Yeah. Oh, I think they all push the limits.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they probably push the limits on purpose. Like, how far can we go until someone comes up?
They probably do. It's like, well,
It's like
no
on
one's
the
saying
one hand-
stop, so we're just going to keep going. You
On the
know?
one hand, I'm a capitalist, like hardcore. It's like the government needs to stay out of business. If you suck, then you know you're not gonna sell products. If you do a good job, you are, right?
Right.
But on the flip side, you can see where, like when the Rockefellers, those different oil industries, and they had vertical monopolies. You know, they controlled the production, they controlled the processing, they controlled the transportation, they controlled the distribution, the whole stack. They controlled everything. Nobody could get in, you know? It's like, because all they had to do is like, so here comes, you know,
Yeah, how can you have a
John Smith's oil
free
company.
capitalist society if there's no way to start it, you know?
Right. And he's like, well, I managed to get some property and I have an oil well. And I'm going to sell oil. I'm going to be the competition. But it costs, cost for producing a barrel of oil, let's say is $100. You got to sell for at least $200, really, to keep yourself above water, paying for all these various things, right? So then the Rockefellers or whoever it is, they're like, okay, fine, we're going to sell our oil for $50 a barrel. And John Smith is just going to go under because he can't do it.
You can't do it. Yeah.
You know, he will starve to death. And so on that hand, it's like, yeah, you can see where the government might need to. There you are. And it kicks off. And if I'd plugged PotCam in and done this right, we would let you watch this.
No, I got the boil quick on that one, man. So, all right, time for my. This one, Nathan. This one's for you. Time for my Magnum pellets. This is for the larger pellet. And here we go.
Exactly.
These are Magnum pellets for the larger beer.
You're just trying to send Nathan off.
It's for him, man.
That's right. We choose our ingredients, and they're double entendre names just for our viewers.
Why not? All right.
We need to get Jem on the show. She would make you blush with shame.
Oh, I've seen some of the posts in the
Oh yeah, Jem has
Not
no
Safe for
fear.
Work channel there.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, why did I do that?
What did you do? What?
I put my
You
hops
didn't,
in direct. I didn't use my little.
even though you got it out, I saw it somewhere.
Yeah, it's in the solution. I still have a lot more hops to go in there, so I think I'll do it that way.
It'll still be worth it. Yeah, but Nathan says you can't pass go in that monopoly.
Right.
You know, I mean,
You don't even have
can't.
opportunity to try to do anything in that kind of monopoly. And so, yeah, maybe sometimes a little intervention might be necessary to level the playing field a little bit.
You want to know something?
Because
amusing?
free enterprise, you're
keep
supposed to
going.
be able to. It's supposed to be available at all.
Right.
You know.
And yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is once person A gets to a point where he can just crush the competition, it's like, yeah, sometimes you gotta level the playing field a little bit. And that's, like I said, I'm really hesitant to let the government get involved.
Yeah, I agree.
Things,
the government
you
should
know-
minimally regulate, but sometimes you might need that big brother to help you out.
Yep, that's a really, maybe we should use a better term than big brother.
Oh, I meant like in a
Yeah, I know what you
classic
meant.
big brother sense. Like
It's
I'm
the
gonna
true
watch
big
out.
brother. Oh, now we've got Big Brother watching you. You're not doing well here.
I know, right? All right, my phrasing is not on point today. All right, let me get my timer going. Whoa, aggressive much.
I'm gonna go get my hops.
All right, 1 too much. Come on now.
Centennial.
I can never find that happy medium where my boil is
You know,
textbook anymore.
that is your constant battle with yours.
Well, I don't think my flameage is.
Like your metering is not very precise.
So that's like way too that, man. It's like a boiling pasta.
That's true. You're really going for it there.
Then if I shut it, if I go too far, it's gonna like level out, and it'll just be like a little bit barely any movement. It's like no. There we go. That's a little bit better.
We got a really cool hot break going on. That's my favorite thing. I love the hot break. I also like the hot break, the newsletter. I think it's pretty good.
Alright, I think my boil is under control now. Alright, so what do we need?
Well, I've got my hops.
You have your hops. Mine.
I
I need to get my meshy thing for my multiple hot letters that are going in there.
Put these back in the fridge. I don't need them for half an hour after I start this. And now it's cheese stick time. So here's a question for y'all. This is string cheese. I don't know if they have this in England or Brazil. In America we have it. It's called string cheese. One of the ways to eat string cheese, peel it like so. And you can eat it. Some people will freak out if you do this. And you bite it. You have run out of comments? You're not required to make comments. Well, fellow Americans, do you bite the string cheese or do you strip the string cheese? Where do you fall on this very controversial subject? I go both ways. So anyhow, that's what Napa's getting sued for. It's because of their app store and how restrictive they are. And they're trying to say that through their app store, they're doing a monopoly on mobile phones, apparently.
Right, yeah, I knew it had to do with the mobile phones.
I kind of take it back. I don't want Apple to lose that particular one.
Oh, they alienate their developers. They kind of alienate their customers. It's just like that's what it looks like to me, you know. And I have an iPhone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not some Apple fanboy. I got the iPhone because it's stable, you know.
Do you find Samsung and all them others, the Galaxy stuff, to not be stable?
I don't think the Android platform is stable.
No.
Not the hardware, but the platform.
Well, it's probably because they're less restrictive on their developing.
Yeah, it's a lot more open.
And that's a balancing act you gotta find. That's like America. If we push towards extreme freedom, right, it's gonna be a little crazy. And some people are really gonna win, and some people are really gonna lose.
Yeah.
You know, with the milieu of everything that will be happening within the country. But if you want to clamp down on that stuff and enact a whole bunch of laws so this always happens the same, well, you can do that. And then everything it's stable. And
Why did you bring a water lock and then put a new one in there?
because I forgot that I had purchased the water lock.
I just remembered that. So that water lock is dirty.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty sure we're gonna need to transfer stuff and get that fluid in the solution in the bucket so that the port show is ready. But I'll be done before you, so.
Yes, you will. Well done. Timed it well. Dan says he's run out of comments, but his brain will come up with something. I'm sure he will. Anyways.
I cut you off too.
That's okay, because what you were saying was more important. And actually, what I'm trying to remember was a few topics ago. There was something interesting. Anyways, the whole microphone thing really bothers, it irritates me. It's like, because now, what's weird is, instead of being able to just shut it off and run, however, I have to buy third-party software
Well,
to undo.
You should be able to go in and just check something. Check the noise
Yeah,
cancellation.
maybe. I don't know. I couldn't do it on my boys' iPads. I had a YouTube streaming series called oh I forget what I called it, but it was something about practicing, you know, and me and the boys practicing um, practicing piano. And I listened to it, and this weird, funky compression came on, and it just made them sound so. The piano sounded like it was under a pillow underwater.
Oh. Huh. Yeah.
I mean, because we have a fairly small room, it's all hard surfaces, and it was a big sized piano. We've never had small pianos, you know, we don't do spinets or console pianos or little pianos. I mean, you know how big the piano is we have now. You helped put it in that house.
Mini or baby grand, they call it.
It is not a baby grand. That is bigger than a baby grand. It's like just over 6 foot. Baby grands are a little smaller.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a big piano. It was heavy.
Yeah, I mean it's not like a big 12-foot grand.
No.
I would not have attempted a 12-foot grand, and I probably would have had a whole bunch of friends that said, "Oh yeah, F you. We will drink beer with you. We will watch you kill yourself." But
No, something that big, you need a pro to use
Yeah.
it that has the equipment for that, you know.
I mean, some of those big grands, 9-foot grands. I don't have a place to put a 9-foot grand.
Well, that and you know people that have like granite pool tables and stuff, you know, billiard tables. You want someone to move that for you, man. You know.
Yeah.
And there are companies that specialize in things like pool tables and large pianos.
Oh yeah.
But of course they're going to charge. I think my friend Vinny was looking at. Oh, look at that! Looking at
Whoa!
he had a pool table he was giving away. It was made with like a big granite slab. It was huge. It was like a competition size or whatever. It was huge, man. And he was trying to find someone that could move it, but they wanted hundreds of dollars for the job.
Well, yeah. That was about the luckiest twist of the
That-
knob.
Yeah, that
Look
was
at that. Bam!
that was good. Good job, man. Good job.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Alright.
All right,
Well,
I'm going to put in
I'm
World
going to run
Clock.
2 timers. I'm going to run a 30-minute timer, and then I'm going to restart it.
Okay. So this goes in at the
Okay.
10-minute mark.
Oh, really? What are you doing in jolly old England next week? You got a show coming up, or are you just going to go visit your parents, Peter, Jem, someone?
Someone.
Just go get some proper mushy peas? I've never found mushy peas anywhere other than Gerber baby bottles and England.
Huh.
England, the only country that likes to eat baby food. With fish. With fish and chips and mushy peas?
I mean, I've had plenty of fish and chips, even in England. But I don't remember the mushy peas, though.
We didn't know what the mushy peas were.
Now, I did have mushy peas, it was actually in the United States, at a British-style restaurant, that served bangers and mash.
Did it come out of a Gerber bottle?
Oh.
Bet it did.
I didn't.
How else are you going to get mushy peas in the
I
U.S.?
didn't ask.
It looked the same. No, me and Wendy didn't know what they were. We went to it was our first day in England. We're like, we need to go get something to eat. So we drove around, lost, found this random parking lot with a building. Went inside the building and there was a restaurant.
Oh, look.
We ordered food. It came and fish and chips. This green goop. What is that? And then I was like, oh, that's mushy peas. Finally figured it out. I was okay with them. Jaime ate them because Jaime eats everything. Wendy, not so much. You know. Let's see. Visiting family, friends, music, work, playing violin students in a concert in London. Good gig that covers. Ooh, a gig that covers travel. Nice.
Nice.
Oh, that's right. And your parents moved out to Wales. I forgot that. And you're going to do an online gig with Thailand. Cool. Cool. We'll have fun in the UK. Somehow. Kills my
I
boy.
was gonna say, yeah, you're losing your. Well, that is textbook right there. I'm happy with that. I'd show our viewers, but I can't.
Yeah, someone's in need. Okay. There we go.
All right. Wow. 49 minutes to go.
Yeah, I've got a ways to go too.
So yeah. Let me double check my hop count here.
How many hop additions do you have?
I have 3, so at every minute, from 3 minutes, I'm going to do 3. Actually, 2 minutes. I'm going to do 2, 1, 0.
Oh wow! Bang, bang, bang!
And then
yeah, you're gonna want those ready.
And then do I'll dry hop because I'm really trying to get the hop character that I think a West Coast IPA should have. You know, all my other ingredients are within the bounds of like the international beer rules, whatever, of an IPA, but I just can't quite get the hop schedule correct. You know
what Rishi is?
Rishi?
I don't know. Dan says, yeah, I'll sort it out because Rishi ain't. R-I-S-H-I. Rishi ain't.
What's that means?
No.
I don't know.
Is that English slang that we don't know yet? Educate us. We're ready to learn.
Use some royal fluck this time as well. This is a clear beer, so I want it to be as clear as possible.
Right.
The sun is almost at that point. It's going to be annoying. Yep, there he is.
Alright, the sun's annoying. We have something for that. Rishi Sunak. Oh, Rishi Sunak. Hop along, Steve. That's right. Yeah, Rishi Sunak ain't gonna figure anything out. I don't know that much about British politics, but I know that their prime ministers are useless at this point. So hey, Bill got us something, and it's to help Steve. Unfortunately, there's a problem.
The rod's not long
The
enough.
rod is too short. So we thought that I could spend the rest of the show right here.
Just standing right there holding it up.
I think it's a really horrible idea. No lie. It is a bad
I'll
idea.
have to do both our beers, and if you're just going to hold it the whole time.
No. I'm about to quit. My arm's getting tired.
You should bring that down, yeah.
Okay, I'm quitting.
I mean, it's cool and all, but I mean, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
I know, Bill. Thank you, Bill.
We'll try and figure it out. Watch your head.
We'll get it figured out.
Yeah. Apparently that window's just a little bit wider than expected.
I'll take a measurement after the broadcast and
But there it is. Keep calm and drink beer.
drink beer.
That's right. This is a better place to work. Couldn't possibly run out of things to say.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Have some comments to respond to?
Dan's just saying that's really nice. Rishi Sunak is the Prime Minister of England. That's right. Once you said Sunak, that you wouldn't have had to even say the rest. You could have said his whole name, and I'd have known who you meant.
Yeah, I don't know who the government officials are of England, so.
Rishi Sunak and King Charles and everyone else is just kind
King
of.
Charles, I know that name.
Nigel Farage, I think he's a Nazi.
What?
No, I mean they do the same thing. So Nigel Farage really is one. I think they have. Oh, who do they have? They have the Conservatives and the Liberals are their parties. Like that's what they're called, the Conservatives and the Liberals.
Gotcha.
I don't know if the Tories is another name for the Conservatives. Help me out here, Dan. But they have some within the parties. They have some, they have some rock stars, just like we have, like Chuck Schumer and that guy from Texas. Nobody likes him. Doesn't matter. Or Marco Rubio, or people that just. It's like there's 400 and some odd
Right.
representatives, And we know Nancy Pelosi, Mike Johnson, Marjorie Taylor, I'm a psycho Green, and she's on the Republican side. Would you think that'd be closer? It's like no, somebody needs to get that woman out. It's like you need to go back to I don't know, collecting welfare, because really, I mean that's about the level that I view you at. I don't see you doing a good job at Walmart.
Not very credible, is she?
She's an idiot.
Yeah.
Just an idiot. I mean, she's white trash. White trash in the United States Congress. But that's the beauty of our system, is white trash can be in our Congress. You know? If you want to get offended at the word white trash, fine, I don't care. We can say white trash. You can smash on white people all you want. Anyhow, she's horrible. So when, I forget who the guy was, Speaker of the House, or Mike Johnson. In order to get in, they had to make all these rules concessions. And one of the concessions was that one person can say, we need to remove the speaker, and it would kick the process off. Before that, it took like, I don't know how many people, but it took a group of people coming together and submitting a petition to remove the Speaker of the House. Right. We think that they are not doing their job. Well, in order for the one guy to get in, because it was contested, I mean, the Republican side has some real divisions. You know, there's ultra-conservatives, there's like right-wingers, which are the crazy people, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, et cetera, et cetera. You know, there's some people that are in there. And then you got your moderate conservatives all the way up to, true middle-of-the-road people.
Right.
So, anyways, in order for this guy to get in, why can I not remember his name? Doesn't matter. He wasn't Speaker very long because, sure enough, he didn't do what these wackos on the very edge of the party wanted, and one person said, kick him out. Well, this Marjorie Taylor Greene's doing the same thing to this guy. Kick him out. It's like, how about we just, throw you out? Go home. Go, live in a single-wide trailer with an abusive, face-tattooed, bald, overweight, muscle-head, grease monkey husband. Wow. Drink your Schlitz beer. Look at your 17 cars all on blocks with your one Honda Fit that was only firing on 3 cylinders, and you barely get to work. Suck up all sorts of government benefits and then complain about how evil the government is. Go do that. That's what I want you to do. Because you are damaging the government. And I don't like the government. But the government that's there, I want to work properly. Which, in my world at this point, is don't do anything. What do you mean? I mean, just go, sit, play Wordle.
Wait, Wordle? Is that what you said?
Wordle. You've heard
Wordle.
of Wordle?
I just said Wordle.
Come on, your wife is a phone queen. Wordle.
Yeah, but she's a phone queen. She's a TikTok queen.
Okay, well, there is a game out there. Wordle.
I know what it is.
Okay,
I remember it was like the big craze, a year ago or so.
I don't care if they play Bejeweled or what. Hold on. Okay, the Tories are conservative, and Labor is liberal. So those are the titles for them. Sorry, man, I got on a rant, and there's like a red thing. What is that red thing saying?
I think it's somebody who emphasized something.
Oh, yes. Oh, sure enough. It's our name. Northwest Brewmasters. We are good at this.
We are so good at this YouTube technology stuff.
Hey, we actually have some comments going on here.
Yeah, let's
all right. So in any case, Nigel Farage, I think he's part of Labour. He's kind of like, if Labour were to gain the majority in Parliament, right, in the House of Commons, not the House of Lords, but in the House of Commons, then he would be a prime candidate for Prime Minister. But there's a big attack on him. He's an anti-Semite. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, at that level, people will have their unpalatable views so well covered that they're not going to come out, even if he could be a raging anti-Semite, but he couldn't do anything. It's like, you got to play ball. You can't do anti-Jewish things. You can't do anti-Islamic things. You can't do anti-Christian things, anti-black things, anti-woman things. You can't do those. Even if that's the way you feel, number one, don't let anyone know. If you're a Nigel Farage or a Donald Trump or Chuck Schumer, any one of those, very visible political figures, they can't let people know. They'd be done.
Yeah.
And so I don't buy it. Anyways, let's get on to something more local. Well, I guess more local for us. I don't know, not so much, but more local for us. And that would be, if at all possible, when you can, I would love any and all logo art, album art, saying art you guys have for Northwest Brewmeisters, so I can work on some custom items for you gentlemen. Wow.
Was that Nathan?
That's Nathan.
Okay.
Trying to think of.
Yeah, he's mentioned in the past before about wanting to make some things, you know.
We have a couple selfies that we like.
Yeah, we haven't really designed anything actually. We don't have any logos. That doesn't mean we can't do it now, you know, and figure something out. But
We've got the one ride for the Tim thing, but that's about it.
it's like a silhouetted picture.
Yeah. Well, I'll send it to you anyways.
We're gonna use it on a big glass stein
like a big
where
stein.
they
But we could never find anyone to actually.
where they not really sandblast, but like maybe glass bead blast
Etched,
or etched it,
like
laser
chemical
etched
etch
it,
or
laser
whatever.
etched, yeah. It was gonna be for an etched beer stein. We're gonna get a set of them just for fun as we drink beer on the show.
We'll send you what we use. We have the thumbnail. I mean, that's the main thing we use is the thumbnail.
Right.
Which that was a picture we took after 5, 6.
Oh, we were lit when we took that picture.
We weren't lit. Never get lit. We are in control all the time.
That was down in the studio. We're like, dude, click, you know.
I tell the truth, except when I lie.
No, it was fun. I think we were working on the song that night.
Oh shoot! Nathan can etch glass. We're sending you that.
Oh, all right.
We're sending you that.
We'll just buy the mugs, the ones we saw on Etsy, and then we'll send them to Nathan, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, man. We'll yes. We'll talk offline, direct message over on Discord. Something. Yeah, absolutely, man. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Maybe we could design like a lettering or something. Northwest Brewmeisters, you know.
I want a pen too.
A pen?
I do want a pen. I need a pen at work. That's the thing.
I know he makes these pen casings, you know.
Make it a little tough. I need a strong pen because I'm a diesel mechanic. And I work on loaders and tractors and 18-wheelers and big dump trucks, that sort of kind of stuff. But I do. I want a pen. Like, that's my pen. Can I borrow your pen? No. Here, have this pick. It's broken. Yeah.
That's right. You're not using my pen.
This is my pen. My friend Nathan is a nice pen. And you could put Northwest Brewmeisters on the pen. That would be sweet. That's what we need. Other people are selling t-shirts and hoodies. We need to sell pens and stationery. Northwest Brewmeisters swag. Official letterhead.
Official letterhead. For all your beer notes.
For all your beer notes. Stickies. Northwest Brewmeisters stickies. We are never going to make money at this. Alright. How are we doing?
I'm at 36 minutes, roughly.
Yep. I've got 14
I'm about
minutes.
to go dump that out. We'll dump that into the...
No, tell you what, I'll do that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and tell you what, we're going to keep the broadcast rolling for now, but we are going to be moving.
We'll be moving around.
Yeah, so we'll swing by and see the comments.
We have to start prepping and getting things set up. You don't have to let it close, by the way. You can just hit the button.
Oh, I didn't know that. I really didn't know that.
Oh, that's fine. So yeah, well, I'm not going to try to talk over the garage door.
Yep.
Anyway, so yeah, we have to start pre-positioning things and just kind of get set up for the next stages of the brewing process, which will be chilling the wort and getting our carboys ready, that kind of stuff.
Okay. I cannot do that on a pen yet, but I do have some nice pens already made. I'm going to be working on my Squarespace site this week. Oh, sweet. So you're using Squarespace? Sounds cool. All right. Hey, so we really are going to be bopping around. So what we're going to do is go ahead and hit play on the theme song. It's the theme song for now. For now. Till we get a different theme song.
We'll start cleaning up a little bit too.
And yeah, enjoy.
Clean as you go.
Over 7,000 years ago, God
laughing
gave
so
us a
hard.
libation. And now this divine beverage is brewed in every nation, on every continent,
7-1.
from far away to near. Humanity can all agree we love this thing
Maybe you guys
called beer!
forget Gold Star in Israel, who knew the Jews could brew.
Oy vey.
Dewey's in Australia.
Or maybe causing draft. Try to keep up with the Aussies and you'll end up on your wall. Fill my glass up to the brim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday, so this one is for you. One by one we set them up and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer. We're gonna drink them all.
There's beer from Scandinavia.
Belgium, France, and Spain.
So raise your glasses, bottoms up, and fill them up
Again! That's it!
England,
Guinness!
Ireland.
Headings from the Scots!
Fine Stephens, even Weiss beer?
Reinheitsgebot! Czech Republic, Poland, Russia.
China to the east. They all make delicious beers with barley, hops, and yeast.
Don't have yourself a big name brew.
Or better, brew your own.
But enjoy that beer, cause one thing's clear.
You ain't drunk at all!
Fill my glass up to the rim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday, so this one is for you. One by one we set them up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer. We're gonna drink them all! Drink!
Cheers!
Cheers! Drink! So original. Cheers!
Slanja!
Slanja! Don't Ireland! Slanja from Ireland!
That's right. May the devil know you're not dead. Oh, why I screwed that one up.
But it's hard for a German to be an Irish guy.
That's right. So we'll just pay homage to Germany and say, Prost!
Prost! And may you be in hell half an hour before the devil knows you're there.
Yes, in Ireland they would appreciate that.
Yeah, okay.
L'chaim!
L'chaim! Yes, for our Jewish friends. What else we got?
Goodbye!
Goodbye! Off to Japan with Asahi and
A little over to the west of Japan, we have Russia, Nostrovia.
way far west of Japan. Nostrovia! Which I keep calling Nokia because I'm stupid.
And then, wait, we have some Zulu friends.
Yes, down in Africa, Bajabule!
How do we say that?
Bajabule! What else we got? Salud! Both Spain,
Salud!
Latin America, and Italy. Well, yeah.
Chin-chin.
Let's switch over and have an IPA,
Okay.
and then we'll switch back to the other one. All right. Moving on to Founders Session IPA. The glare might make it hard to see. Everything's backwards.
Gotta have faith.
Gotta have faith.
No! 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 I didn't say sing.
I have to get my carboy set up here really soon. Alright. See, that's kind of that color there. And I'll show the camera here in a second. The color I'm not-
Yeah, not Coors Light yellow, but or even Bud Light yellow.
So if you can see this color actually, this is what I'm going for. Get it in the light. This is what I'm going for with my beer, my IPA I'm making today. So this is the goal. We'll see what happens. I think my boil lightened up a little bit because of the door.
Of course.
So I'm not going to turn it up too much. What happened to that? All right.
And then we begin the boiling battles.
29 minutes.
Soon I'm off. Bye then. You might want to wash this.
What happened?
It fell.
Why did it fall?
I don't know. That I really don't know. That's the only thing that happened.
Okay.
The only thing that
Probably
happened
just pushed up because of
is
the
it
heat.
fell.
It's fine.
It happens.
This thing probably just pushed up. Weird, like you push it down, oil's more aggressive. You pick it up, stops. Strange. Huh? What it's doing.
The challenges you face, man.
If it falls over, it's fine.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna try and keep it from. I feel like I should do something. I'll just sit here and all this steam. If that color is the goal, what things would happen for it not to be that color? So, at the beginning of our broadcasts, when we put, the bags of ground up grains in there, that is really a very, that's a strong, that has a big push on the color. They have this thing called the Lovabond scale. Lovabond is the last name of a guy. Well, it was probably a guy. It might have been a woman, but it was a guy. The Lovabond of a guy who made up this scale of colors, and they're all shades of yellow, obviously, but they get darker and darker and darker. So, for example, Steve used Crystal 20. Number 20 is a number on the Lovabond scale. It says it's about that color. And it's one of those things, after a while, you say Crystal 20 and you see, then you know. And it goes way far down. I think it goes up to 160. I don't know how far Lovabond goes. It goes quite a ways. I put Crystal 120 in mine, which is why mine looks really dark. And of course, if PotCam was working because I had set up the broadcast properly, I could show you this. But that's why mine are really dark. And then also, the syrups that we add, they also color the beer. And that comes from how dark they roast it. It's a lot like coffee. You can get coffee roasted in different levels. Same idea. So the color is, it doesn't really change things that much, except for the fact that in order to get the colors of these grains, they have to roast the grains to different levels, and so that does change the flavors that the grains impart. But for the most part, your flavors are actually determined more by your base malts. You got two sets of malts in the beer world. You've got your base malts, which are 2-row or 6-row barley. And I think that 2-row is the preferred. And that has to do with the carbohydrates and the sugars and starches that are held within the little barley. They actually call them berries, kind of like with wheat. They're not wheat grains, they're wheat berries. But those little berries that are the barley thing, and 2-row is more consistent and it has more of them, and 6-row is less. And there's reasons. It gets really deep, and I haven't read that deep because we're not all grain brewers. We brew extract. Our base malts, the things that are the original, the foundation, we buy that already done. It comes in wort. In fact, the truth is, we could take one of those canisters of malt and add no specialty grains whatsoever. We could take just one of those canisters, dilute it in our water, and we could go straight to getting it boiling and add our hops and our yeast, and we would get a beer, and it would taste okay. But you add all these other things, like all the grains that I add, and they give little nudges this way and that way, increase various flavors, accentuate other flavors, that type deal. But that's how you get the colors. I mean, if that makes sense. But it's basically how dark did they roast the grain, and that does have some impact on the has some impact on the flavor, but much more impact on the color. And color is just a preference, really. I mean, it's. I don't see how it's important at all. You know, your beer could be purple as long as it tasted right. You know, some people couldn't handle that. I need to get my hops ready because they're going to go in here in just a minute. So I'm doing Centennial hops. Oh, here we go. Sort of like making a roux. The longer you cook the starch, and the darker the roux. Yes, very much so. Exactly. And of course, you can go too far. You can go to burnt. There's some like roasted malt or black malt. That's basically what they are. They've just been roasted a lot. And if you add too much of those into your wort or into your steeping grains, those grains that we do, if you add too much of those, then you can end up with a beer that tastes burnt, literally burnt. Just like a coffee that's been roasted too much, you know, it tastes burnt. Shush you. So that's the thing with the color. More of an aesthetic thing than anything else, but it does impact flavor. Like you would have a hard time getting the flavors that Steve is after using the grains that I used. You'd have a real hard time doing it. In fact, you probably wouldn't be able to do it at all. It just wouldn't happen. Because the grains that I used have been roasted much longer. And also, like for example, I used smoked cherry malt, or cherry smoked malt, I forget how the order of the words, but that adds kind of a smoky push to my Scotch Ale, which is part of the flavor. We're talking about the Lovabond scale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
All right, I got stuff drying.
Nathan was asking if that color is the goal, what things would happen for it not to be that color?
Oh, right. Using the wrong specialty grains. Higher Lovabond scale will make it dark. I think you already mentioned all
Right,
that.
I explained
Sorry
the
if I'm
Lovabond
repeating.
scale and stuff.
Yeah, so that's why I went with Crystal 20 and Karamutic 20 because they're much lighter on the Lovabond scale. Lovabond, tomato.
Right. And the thing is that they do have some impact on the flavor. I was mentioning that even, you know, if you use the grains that I used, you know, because color doesn't change. Color is color. It is what it is. You know?
Right.
Like I said, if you got a purple beer and it still tastes like an IPA, well, okay.
Yeah. Purple IPA.
Yeah, there you go. But the truth is, you know, because of the amount of time, because to get those colors, basically what they do is roast the grains less or more.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, for kind of a example, when I do Resurrection Ale, which tends to be a little bit darker, I'm actually using a lighter crystal malt. I'm using Crystal 20. However, the darkness is coming from the chocolate malts I put in there because they're darker. And when they mix together, they make that not a dark beer, but not a light beer. You know, it's kind of in the middle.
Right.
You know, as far as its color. So,
And how they get the chocolate out of there? I mean, these are things.
yeah, I don't quite
We could
know.
do a lot of studying on roasted because 90% of the grains we use are barley. 90%, I swear. I mean, it's
Right.
not like we're using wheats and rye, and I mean,
Oh,
all these
all
are
that
used.
stuff's barley. All that stuff, yeah.
But well, like wheat is wheat.
Well, right. I meant like the regular crystal. That's all barley.
It's all barley, you know. The foundational, those base malts I was talking about,
right.
those are barley
It's all
too.
barley,
It's
yeah.
all barley. Why Montana loves beer? Because talking like a big chunk of Montana, that's where they sell a lot of their grain to.
Right.
They make a lot of barley and they sell it to the beer company. But anyhow, so it's all barley. So it's the roasting process and the way. I mean, some of it's easy, like the cherry smoked malt that I'm using. Well, they get that smoked flavor by smoking it while they roast it. You know, that one's an easy one.
Right.
But how they make British chocolate versus American chocolate, and
I
how
have
you
no
get
idea.
chocolate flavors out of malt, I don't know how that works.
Oh, maybe there's a lot of extract in there.
Nestle?
We'll have to look it up and see what's going on, you know.
With a
They
rabbit?
put some cocoa powder in there, you know.
Or a weird cuckoo bird?
Could be.
Cuckoo for Cocoa
18
Puffs?
minutes. In a moment, I'll bring out my carboy, and I will actually, in front of the camera, I'll fill it with a couple gallons of water just to show them what the process is like. I think we've done it before, but never is duty.
By the way,
we typically don't have the camera on this part. Oftentimes we kill it by now, especially when we start running around getting hectic. But we're kind of at a
we're in a
calm
strange
moment,
boil
calm
because
moment,
your
yeah.
boil is I'm gonna be still boiling
after
you're
me.
done.
Yeah, maybe this is the new way to do it. We'll see how it comes out in the end.
We'll see,
Yeah.
because it's still gonna be busy time.
It's gonna be busy.
Think about it, because we call it a plugman, which if you're in the Navy, you would know what that means, but if you weren't in the Navy, you won't. So let's explain it. Basically, we got a guy that turns the water on and turns the water off.
That's a plugman. Yeah.
Why? Because Steve pays for water, because we are in town.
I pay for water.
And yeah,
So
it is
we
freaking
don't-
expensive.
We use the least amount of water as possible to get the job done.
Yep. Turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. Out at my place, I'm on a well, so you can just let it run. The amount of electricity that we spend pumping water into the flower beds is
Right.
no big deal. And I say flower beds, but they're natural flowers, which is another way to say weeds.
All natural.
All natural. Could be cacao nibs.
Could be. Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
you know what's weird though is that, so not last week, not last brew day, but the brew day before, I made a peanut butter milk chocolate stout or chocolate milk stout.
Right.
It's a milk stout. It's not chocolate milk stout. It's a milk stout. The peanut butter and the chocolate are additions onto that. And the milk stout, you actually add lactose, lactic acid or lactose, something lactosey. It's a bag of white powder.
Same stuff with milk.
Yeah. So you add it to your beer after it's completely done fermenting and done, and you're ready to put it in the keg.
Right.
And I use cacao nibs in that. So 2 weeks in primary, fermenting, turning into beer, and then 2 weeks in the secondary bottle where it just kind of clears out and settles out. And in that secondary bottle, I added the cacao nibs. So we actually use cacao nibs in brewing.
Yeah, I've used cacao nibs in my beers before.
And it kicks the chocolate flavor up a notch for sure.
Chocolate stout.
Yeah.
I've used it when I made a chocolate stout. I used cacao nibs, and I did it during secondary fermentation.
You know what I want to make? I want to make my coconut stout.
Coconuts.
I have a coconut stout. That came out good. I like that.
Who would imagine coconut and beer would be paired together?
Oh, it's so amazing. Another thing my father probably won't drink. He won't drink the peanut butter
He didn't
stout.
like a peanut butter stout. did he?
He's like, huh? Yep. Yep. That's it.
all right.
Want another? No, I'm good. Hand me that. Hand me that panther piss.
We have that Coors. You know?
What's the cheapest beer you have? I have this. It's kind of dishwater. It's better than that peanut butter
Oh,
stuff.
you mean Keystone?
I'm about to kick you out of my house, Dad, and I love you.
Keystone is probably the dishwater beer out there.
Oh, that's I
Our beers
remember
are
that when I was a
terrible, man.
kid. Yeah, that was just get
so
drunk
cheap.
beer.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, strictly. That's all it was just. I'm gonna drink this so I buzz, not because I'm enjoying beer.
I tried cooking with it.
Didn't work for that, huh?
Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. I think you need good beer to cook with.
Yeah.
You can't cook with Coors Light or Budweiser. It's not. You need to get yourself like a good brown ale.
Sure. Makes sense. Okay, well, I am at the.
Yeah, my dad has weird taste in beer. That's like my pale ale. I made a pale ale. Both Steve and I were like, yeah, well, we can drink it. It's acceptable. Father comes over. Wow, this is really good. This is one of your better beers. I'm like, I'm not sure I'm your son, man. That's just, am I adopted? It's okay. You can tell me.
What? What
I won't-
happened?
I'm firm. I know who I am. Just because I'm adopted doesn't bother me because there's a huge. My dad doesn't like politics. I'm a political junkie. I don't know. I mean, You, dear viewers, have no idea how much I restrain myself on this show.
He's not lying.
And you're like, stop, throttle back. I ranted a couple times on this show, but it wasn't too bad.
You had a minor rant today. It wasn't like it was a weird controversial thing. It's like, all right, tell us how you feel.
That's because even Republicans, I had 2 rants. One on Apple,
Yeah.
which is not political, but it's just like, really, they roll out these things that,
Number 3.
I guess, no, I'm going to slow down. But they roll out these things that I'm sure are good for consumer, cheap, sharing this with my Grammy production level type stuff.
Sure.
And so they put compression and all these things. But for someone who knows what they're doing with audio or video or lighting or anything,
Right.
it's like all you are
I
doing
want
is
it neutral
making
and
it
flat.
harder.
Yeah.
I just want it to capture, let me control all that other stuff because I know how to do it. And when you're fighting things like that, and then the Marjorie Taylor Greene, I mean, that's really, I mean, the woman's an idiot.
Oh no, you went on a tirade about regulation as well.
Oh, yeah, well. I didn't, was that a tirade? I didn't mean for that to be a tirade.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm
The
embellishing.
Marjorie Taylor Greene thing was a tirade.
Maybe I'm embellishing a little bit, but
Did I describe
you,
that?
you let it
husband I
be
described?
known that you believe in minimal government intervention when it comes to capitalism and all that.
Right, but I understand that sometimes it has to happen because
Right.
the playing field can get so skewed.
That you don't have free enterprise anymore.
Yeah, and by the time someone else, because what happens, and this is, well, I'll tell you one place where I think that the government absolutely, ooh, wait a minute.
Squirrel.
Yep, squirrel.
You saw a new comment, I guess.
Well, that's because what Nathan's saying is less controversial, so we can go with it. Nathan says, I like coconut, but I can't see it in a beer. But I would try it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
Interestingly enough, it was good. Yeah.
I agree. It's probably not like I just need a beer after work, chill out beer. It's more of a, because for one thing, it's a stout. It's a heavier beer. Almost
you
all
want to try
those,
this beer? Yeah.
Almost all those beers are heavier beers.
Yeah.
It's one where it's like I want that kind of beer and I want one of them.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like I'm going to put a 6-pack down.
Yeah, I'm gonna toss
after work
back a
because it was a hot day kind of thing.
Yeah. Or I think I'm gonna go mow the lawn. Give me a coconut
Coconut.
stout.
A coconut stout for the lawn.
Yeah,
Probably
like-
not.
What are you doing? I'm mowing the lawn in a tree.
What?
Give me another beer.
Was that a strong? I can't remember. Was it up there?
Well, my stouts.
All right. I have to switch eyes, man. The sun is just beating me up again.
And now it's time for Ultra Cool Steve.
Time for. I'll be back.
Which he is German, so it works.
Well, kind of, because Arnold is actually Austrian.
If you ask pre-World War II or
I know,
World
you're
War II
right.
Germans, they thought it was all.
It was all
We
Germany.
go back to the Weimar Republic.
It was all Germany.
Yeah, it's all Germany. Don't ask the Austrians.
Someone say that?
Yes, no, I just said it. He also says, can't make drunk chicken with Bud or Coors. It just trashes the chicken. You know, I've never made drunk chicken, but that sounds like a fun thing to make. Yeah, what do you use then? Nathan?
Inquiry minds want to know.
Yes, what kind of beers do you use? I found that brown ales tend to be the best for cooking.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I've never actually cooked with a beer. Not in that sense. I think I poured a beer on something before, but I've never actually tried to make anything with the beer ahead of time. So.
Yeah, well, you can make like beer batters and things like that.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, beer batters, of course. Yeah. I think what I've done is I've had food on the grill and just kind of poured beer on it in the same way you would spray it to kind of add some moisture. You know, that's probably the most I've done with beer. Oh, I'm missing my mark for my Whirlflock.
Okay, I missed my mark for starting my timer.
Whirlflock, for the anybody who doesn't know, it's a like a coagulant kind of thing. Not anticoagulant, it's a coagulant actually. It mixes in with the beer. And it has natural. It's all natural. It has Irish moss, and I forget all the ingredients of it. But what it does is it has all the crap that's in there, like with the yeast and everything that happens because of the brewing process. It makes them clump together and sink to the bottom of your fermenter. It helps clarify the beer in the end. Because when you do home brewing, we don't have fancy filtration systems and all that, and so you get a lot of particulates stay in the beer even when we're done brewing. Even if you racked it, there's still floaters in it. Not really floaters, I guess is a wrong choice of word, but there's still particulates in the beer. And so oftentimes it creates kind of a cloudy, hazy beer even when you're not intending to. And it doesn't hurt anything. It's it's perfectly safe to drink. It's just some people are picky. I want to make my beer clear. It's an IPA. It's supposed to be clear in this case. I add the Royal Flock to it to help kind of help that process. Another thing I could do, which I don't seem to quite ever get it right, is what they call cold crashing. Cold crashing is supposed to help clarify the beer as well.
I never get cold crashing.
I seem to get like mixed results when I look up cold crashing on the process. I get mixed results. Like people say, "Oh, do it this way." Other people say, "Oh, do it that way." But then they kind of contradict themselves. It's like, well, or each other, I should say. It's like, well, which is the right way to do it? So I stopped trying to cold crash, in an effort to make the beer more clear.
Well, and if you're rotating beers and you only have kegerator,
Yeah.
it makes it hard.
Yeah.
Because now you're freezing all your beers to cold crash the one.
The cold crash the wine, yeah.
So you're going to drink your brown ale, which should be at 40 degrees, and it's at 29 degrees.
I just saw the post office drive by. I'm kind of go on a quick tangent here.
Yes.
I
know.
I think it's one of those contractor types, the contractor post office types. But anyway, so this person just crossed in front of my house. And what did I tell you earlier about a message I got at 11 o'clock saying that they had attempted a delivery at my house? I was home here the whole time, and no one ever came to my door, never pulled up to deliver a package that was supposed to be delivered today. Yet I just see the post office drive by again. They didn't even stop to try. They may not be out here for me, but the point is, like, really?
That's frustrating.
Yeah, it is frustrating. Because Sundays, they do deliver packages on Sundays. They just don't deliver standard mail, At least in our area. I don't know if that's nationwide, that they deliver packages on Sundays, but I know up here they do. Because I received packages from USPS on Sundays before, just not today. I really want that package because it has my fuses in it, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, it'd be nice to get your beer going. Hold on. So, would you like to laugh at me?
Oh, indubitably.
Okay, so this should make you laugh, and then we'll respond to Nathan's comments. And here's the chuckle. I forgot to set my timer.
Oh no!
So now I'm watching the replay of the video that we're doing right now to see the timestamp of when I added the hops.
I heard your 30-minute timer go off.
Yes, the 30-minute timer went off, and I forgot to set the 1-hour timer.
Probably been maybe 15 minutes, if that. Not even 15
minutes. This says 15:25, so we're going to say 15, and I'm going to set it for 45. There you go. I am a moron, I swear. Okay. And now let's attend to Nathan. Attend to Nathan. Nathan says...
Alright, and now we have Carboy Cam.
Carboy Cam. You could just tilt it down. Tilt it down. I mean, I'm incredibly good looking, but they've seen a lot.
Most professional broadcast.
Very professional. Hey, you do what you gotta do, right?
Right.
Someday we'll have cool stuff. Alright, so how have you guys never made a drunk chicken? Get an empty beer can, cut the top off with a can opener, fill it with a dark beer, and add some spices and seasoning. Shove up the chicken's egg-laying hole, close the lid, and let it go indirect heat. I knew that.
I've never made it myself, but
I've never made it.
I've been with people who have made it before,
I think I might need Wendy to do this.
I'm just putting 2 gallons of water in the carboy ahead of time. It's been chilled in the refrigerator for a while now, and that just offsets the heat of the wort when the wort's done. I mean, I'm going to chill it down to 80 degrees, but I don't want to shatter my carboy because this is made of glass, and so that's why I preload it with 2 gallons of chilled water. And then I'll pour the wort in, which you probably get to see that too. And then I will top it off to the 5-gallon mark if needed. Sometimes you don't need to top it off, but more often than not you do though. And then it's just a standard funnel. I have a strainer, kitchen strainer, to try to strain out all the hops and crap that are going to be in there. other solids that get left behind, you know. All right, it's critical.
Actually, yeah, it is. Considering how quickly you got to add those hops.
All right. So in 30 seconds, I'll add this. You're gonna be 1 minute. Oh, actually, like minute and 30 seconds. I'll add this.
So 1 minute apart on each edition.
1 minute apart.
Yeah, you can't mess that one up. The most technical beer you've made.
I'm all ready.
Make sure you get them in the right order.
They're all the same.
Oh, they're all the same.
Yeah, they're all the same. So they're in the right order no matter which
They're
way.
all Magnum.
No, Magnum was my bittering hop. These are Cascade.
Right. For larger beers.
Yes, Magnum
Nathan.
for the larger beer. No, these are all Cascade, which is a standard IPA hop, at least American IPA hop, you know.
Boy Cam doesn't sound right. You are correct. Boy Cam does not. Where did you get that?
I said carboy cam.
Oh, Carboy. Nathan, we struggle to keep this family friendly, and you are not helping, son.
Boy cam. Boy cam. What?
Boy Cam. Whoa, okay. We'd like to not get arrested.
We're not taking this at Jimmy Carr level, man.
Yeah,
you
no.
know?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no. Nathan said he's only had one 5-gallon carboy break on him. What a mess.
Oh, jeez.
I
I
bet.
bet, man.
I had 15 gallons of mead I need to get bottled in the next 2 weeks. Wow.
That's a lot. Yeah.
That is a lot of mead, dude. We have decided, by the way, to make a mead on the show one day. We're going to do it.
Yeah. We were talking about it. We want to do it. Here. Watching the time.
I know you said avoid. What'd you say? Avoid. What do you say? Avoid wild honey, or
Yeah. I think you said wild honey, I believe, because
something.
it
Or dark honeys? Was it dark honey?
I think you said wild. I think you. I know,
Why
right?
am I looking there? They can't see my amazing face either. What have you done, Steve?
Alright, well,
I can look wherever
I'm gonna
I
move the
want.
camera back up so
No,
not
no,
staring at our crotches the whole time.
Yeah, family show.
We're still PG. I dropped an S-bomb earlier.
Oh, I didn't even hear it.
Yeah, it kind of slipped out, you know.
I don't think I've sworn it off. That's amazing.
now you dropped the bomb. Ah! That's effing him. Oh no!
And we're done. That's okay. The algorithm can't catch us now. We're too far in.
Oh, here we go. Hot 2. Alright. Last one at 0 flame out. Oh man, we're not even all getting wet.
Yeah, you might want to fix that.
Warm.
A little warm?
Little warm.
You said final hop at flame out?
Came out. I'm just dump it in. I'm not even gonna worry about using the container.
I'm just going to tell you my beer smells amazing. Wildflower, aka dark honey, could have a not great flavor to the mead in the end.
Oh,
So, why did you? I was wondering why you didn't put that in your sieve.
because I wanted it in the beer. I didn't want to have to deal with the sieve.
Oh, I got you. That makes sense. All right, so we're gonna rock and roll here for a minute. You want to listen to the song again? Doesn't matter. Tell you what, we're gonna turn the song on. You can go do whatever you want. You know, get yourself another beer or a glass of mead, make a snack, and when the song stops playing, you'll know it's time to come back. And why did you put that on the garage floor? Because you didn't think to put it in the bucket?
Because I need to get this beer cold.
All right. Okay, listen to the song again. I know you've already listened once. Here, listen again. Here we go. Okay, I'm coming. Over 7,000 years ago, God gave us a libation. And now this divine beverage is brewed in every nation.
on every continent,
Except one.
from far away to near. Humanity can all agree we love this thing called beer! There's Budweiser from St. Louis,
Leaning out OPA.
Coors in Colorado,
We even left the USA. Left on up in Canada, the land of ice and snow. You don't even need a cooler when it's 40 below.
Dos Equis down in Mexico, or Corona with a lime. It's such a shame, so many beers, so very little time. From Brazil to Argentina,
From Peru or Ecuador. Todos hechos sus cervezas. They grant some more.
fill my glass up to the brim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday, so this one is for you. One by one we set 'em up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer, we're gonna drink 'em all.
What about the Middle East?
Well, that's where it all began. They say the first beer was brewed in modern day Iran, or Lebanon, or Jordan. Well, hey, they make beer too.
Don't forget Gold Star in Israel. Who knew the Jews could brew?
Oy vey.
Tooheys in Australia.
Or maybe called in draft. Try to keep up with the Aussies and you'll end up on your wall. Fill my glass up to the brim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday, so this one is for you. One by one we set 'em up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer, we're gonna drink 'em all.
There's beer from Scandinavia.
Belgium, France, and Spain.
So raise your glass bottoms up and fill them up again.
That's it.
England,
Guinness.
Ireland.
And it's from the Scots.
Fine Stephens, even Weiss beer.
Reinheitsgebot! Czech Republic, Poland, Russia.
China to the east. They all make delicious beers with barley, hops, and yeast.
Don't have yourself a big name brew.
Or better, brew your own.
But enjoy that beer, cause one thing's clear.
You ain't drunk at all! Fill my glass up to the rim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday, so this one is for you. One by one we set 'em up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer. We're gonna drink 'em all!
Drink!
Cheers!
Cheers! Drink! So original, cheers!
Slanja!
Slanja! Not Ireland! Slanja from Ireland!
That's right. May the devil know you're not dead. Oh, I screwed that one up.
But it's hard for a German to be an Irish guy.
That's right. So we'll just pay homage to Germany and say, Prost!
Roast! And may you be in hell half an hour before the devil knows you're bad.
Yes, in Ireland they would appreciate that.
Yeah, okay.
L'chaim!
L'chaim! Yes, for our Jewish friends. What else we got?
Goodbye!
Goodbye! Off to Japan with Asahi and
A little over to the west of Japan, we have Russia, Nostrovia.
way far west of Japan. Nostrovia, which I keep calling Nokia because I'm stupid.
And then, wait, we have some Zulu friends.
Yes, down in Africa, Bajabule!
How do we say that?
Bajabule! What else we got? Salud from Spain,
Salud!
Latin America, and Italy.
This tonight. Large
Eugene.
tail, the fierce. If it is exactly like my song, I'm going to be sad. Very, very
I remember an old
sad.
80s video game called A Bard's Tale. Old RPG game. Like 85, I think that came out. Alright. I'm gonna have to go flip the goop out. Too much goop.
We're gonna have to mop your garage again. Steve has the cleanest garage floor in the Pacific Northwest.
Right? It's mopped regularly.
regularly. I need to mop or steam clean or do something. Shop where I work. I had a couple of oil change disasters. There's oil everywhere. But one, yes, he's talking. He's like, yes, the video game. That's exactly what.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
I know they remade it recently, or they added a part 4 actually.
I went
Came out a few
to
years ago.
pre-fill an oil filter, and whoever the bonehead was that used the oil dispenser before. It's a big, like, 100-gallon tank with a pressurized air pressure pump, you know, that pump. Well, he left it in the full-on position, and so I turned it on and oil everywhere. Like, ah!
Are you kidding me?
Seriously? And then I was literally being silly, and I told the guy I work with, "This is your fault, man." Like, what? It's like, whoa, dude. I am just being silly. Like, you might notice, and it's true. Actually, I've looked back. Like, how do you know when I'm being serious? I preface whatever I'm about to say with seriously. Like I do, because I'm irreverent so much. Like, I recognize this about myself. Like, you know, I'm not serious or irreverent or sarcastic so often that I feel it's necessary to ensure that whoever it is listening to me knows. It's like, okay, this one's serious.
This one's real.
Yeah. Not just being a jerk.
Yeah, usually we don't cream this part.
No. And we should. It would be fun.
Usually it's just the boil. Well, because it usually takes so long, but I think by us getting the fire going long before you even get the camera on, it helps, you know. People can see more of the process now.
Yeah, no, I think we should do this part. Maybe you might be correct. This might be the way. As Peter would say, I think this is the way forward.
Way forward.
Yeah, I didn't do a really good Peter. But still, that was one of Peter's sayings. I think this is the way forward. I was like, all right. Close enough, huh?
Good enough.
Oh, you've got to see this. I love this.
Oh, yeah, let me go rinse this off.
Can you see all the little wormies? Can you see the wormies?
No, there's no worms in there.
They can see the worms there. Those are worms. It's amazing the amount of proteins and particulate that precipitate out. That's a science term for you, by the way. Precipitate out. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the worms? Oh, yeah, you can kind of see them. Kind of. There we go. One carboy. Full of, still not beer. This is still wort. But we still need to add our yeasts and other fun stuff. I still have 19 minutes until it's time for me to do mine. Yep, there we go. All the stuff in the strainer Steve is doing a hand job on, is there anything that can be used for instead of just throwing it away? I don't think so. we could compost it, and he does, you know. So, the town that we live in, the trash service has yard waste, recycling, and trash. They have 3 different bins, and so we throw that in the yard waste. You could throw it in compost, but I can't think of any production value for it after it's been used in the beer. You know, it can't be used as like, oh, we could use this or stuff. At the end of the brew process, a part that Steve and I usually just, you know, rinse away, after the yeast settles out, what you look for, buddy?
The other gallon I had. In the door.
Uh-huh.
Oh, now I can do my top one.
Okay. So at the end of fermentation, in the bottom of the carboy here, in the bottom of the carboy, there'll be down here. There's a big thick layer of sludge, and one of the reasons we use the strainers, I made a space dust clone by Elysian once, and it was literally this much sludge, which means I lost that much beer because it was just sludge to get chucked. That's one of the reasons we use the strainer. But, right. And there we go, 5 gallons of beer. Well, wort. It will be beer soon.
Yeah, I've not put the yeast in it yet, so.
Right. So, that, they call it, well, trub or trube. It's spelled T-R-U-B. I guess tomato on that one too.
Right.
But the that is actually mainly like dormant yeast cells. They're not actually dead. They're just dormant. They've suffered from alcohol poisoning, and so they're all drunk and passed out. Yeah, we compost. I got it. It's actually, you know what's weird? So neither Steve nor I are eco-terrorists by any means. No, but at the same time, we are also not trash the planet and let our kids figure it out either. So like out at my house, like I have chickens, and we do meat rabbits, and
What pizza do you want?
oh,
We're getting pizza.
whatever.
Whatever?
Like seriously.
Okay.
Just as long as it's not spicy.
No, we're not doing it spicy.
Like burn the mouth, burn the butt type stuff.
No.
I'm not into, as my kid calls it, fireria. No, I think.
That's a good one.
So anyhow, yeah. So compost. All right. Now,
Sorry,
what
y'all.
else?
Important questions came up.
All right. So the other thing to say. So aside from the sludge, though, is that then you probably know. So for anyone who might be watching that doesn't know, is that the sludge at the bottom is often, they call it a yeast cake, and you can use that to make more yeast for your next beer. Some guys do that. We don't do it. We just buy a new packet of yeast. You know, because apparently you can only do it so many times before your yeast mutates, and it's no longer the yeast that you really were starting with, because it's mutated. Kind of like viruses mutate type deal. It's the same idea. It changes, and then it doesn't produce the flavors and the profiles that you're looking for. You get the big companies that's all they do. That yeast is the same every time. You hope. You know. Ooh, let's see this.
I'm actually going to take a gravity reading on this one.
Okay. A papaya mead I tried to make made 1/3 sludge layer. Only got 2.5 gallons after the final. Yeah, man. That's frustrating when that happens. It's like, seriously? Like I put all this work in and I get hardly any drink. Yeah, that space dust clone that I made. I lost so much volume because of all the hops that were in it. And what was really bad is that it wasn't that great a beer at the end. It was just like, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's hoppy, that's for sure. There's like 2 sets of dry hops in it. It was crazy. Crazy. way it goes. So, whoa, that would be bad. We're working up on 13 minutes until I need to start doing things. I think once Steve comes back, we're going to go ahead and sign off. As always, thank you for coming in and viewing. Appreciate your support. Definitely need to DM Nathan later on about art and things like that. And yeah, that's about it. It's been a lot of fun. Very frustrating, the whole tech crash there. I don't know. I think it was actually on YouTube's side of things. We've had problems with frickin' OBS crashing, but this time it was YouTube crashing. And it just like, you're done. And it's like, what? Didn't do it, didn't push a button, didn't do anything. It might be better if we hardware. We run Wi-Fi, you know, and Wi-Fi is what it is. It's a little, whatever. I'm actually gonna, well, I'm not gonna text Steve because his phone's right there. So I could text him and he still wouldn't come in here. I'm just gonna sit here and wait. Drink my beer. Such trials we must forge ahead. I was using fresh fruit. I'm gonna try it again with just papaya juice. You know, I guess you couldn't call me, you might call me a purist. I don't want to be called a purist, but like, I don't like the idea of adding unnatural things. I mean, that's a really weird way to say it. But for example, with my peanut butter stout, I would prefer to use peanut butter. But apparently, to use real peanut butter is quite the process. You gotta use those, like, all-natural peanut butters. Like, I remember when I was a kid, there was a peanut butter called Adam's peanut butter. And it was just mushed up peanuts. That's all it was. And so, of course, there was no preservatives, there were no emulsifiers, no sugars or anything added. So all the peanut oil would separate out to the top. And so you gotta use that kind of peanut butter. I was thinking it's probably about time to sign off.
Yeah, because I'm busy, so I'm
Yeah,
not going to
so
be able
what?
to talk.
Why don't we do that?
Okay.
Right? Anyways, long and the short, I use peanut butter flavoring in my peanut butter stout. It's not my preferred method, but sometimes you gotta, it's like, what's more important, your process or the result? Yeah, okay, well, Steve has no qualms. The result. However we get there.
Is the beer good?
Are you really adding uranium to your beer? Yes, I am, but the result is perfect. Okay, that's why your children glow. No, that's something different. Something about the pool that they swim in. All right. Anyways, hey Nathan, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Any replay viewers that have made it all this way, or if you skipped all the way here, no judging.
Is Nathan the last person standing right now?
There are 3 people here, but Nathan's the only one chatting.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, good talking again. We'll definitely talk more offline about logos and artwork and stuff.
Logos and artwork,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like I said, I'm about ready to do my final hops. We're going to do the same process that you just watched Steve do, but then we're in and out and getting pitch yeast. And
Yeah.
the big thing is that we won't find a really good time to say goodbye to everyone. So here we go.
We'll
We're
just
saying
say
goodbye.
right now is a good time.
Right now is a good time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for replay viewers. Appreciate you guys. You know, everybody, we enjoy doing this. And yeah, it's a good thing because we're sure not making money. Maybe someday.
One
All
day.
right. Hey, like we always say, relax.
Don't worry. Have a home brew.
There we go. And then
See
we
ya.
do this part. Gotta press this button. And then,
I'm taking a gravity reading this time.
yeah,
so
take
I
the
gotta-
gravity. I'm figuring out how to shut this thing off. All right. Goodbye. Yes, I want to end the stream. Come on. All right. There we go.